So, like, comment, subscribe. We have underwater mortgages rise to 3 year amid cooling housing market. So let's analyze this article. A new report from the Intercontinental Exchange shows that nearly 875,000 homeowners now owe more on their mortgages than their properties are worth, the highest level in 3 years, as softening home prices and elevated borrowing costs squeeze household finances. So this is a townhome in Elk Ridge, Maryland. Michelle, you interested in sell team. The surge in negative equity represents 1.6 of all mortgage holders and highlights a worsening affordability landscape that officials say is weighing on the broader economy. Let's see what else they said. In Cape Coral, home prices are down 15% from their peak. 11% of mortgages are underwater, including more than one-third of those that originated between 23 and 24 when rates were highest. Let's see. So at the same time, the report struck up more. Oh yeah, my camera. So it says in recent years, the Intercontinental Exchange data showed that, including broader profiles, approximately 4.1 million mortgage holders are currently in the money to refinance, a figure that could approach 5 million if rates drifts lower. Let's see what else they're saying. Beyond housing, other consumer credit are flash warnings. Subprime auto loan delinquencies hit 6.65% in October, the highest level on record since the early 1990s, according to Fitch Ratings. Two major auto finance firms serving low-income borrowers filed for bankruptcy this fall. Serving low-income borrowers, interesting, low-income borrowers. Interesting how they label people low income or no income or low income or high income or middle income. Foreclosure activity is also creeping higher. More than 100,000 properties received filings in the third quarter, up 17% from a year earlier. Mortgage delinquencies, while still low by historical standards, have also begun to rise from last year's trough, according to data from VantageScore and Federal Reserve Bank of New York. So we got 8,200 something comments, 8,000 views. So Norwesty got 20-0 on his comment. Don't FHA and FVA borrowers only put a tiny amount down, so it would make sense that they have negative equity given a small decline in home value. Let's see what else they're saying. They are all whorehouse outfits, every single one, bank with the credit union. Underwater mortgages, where's Lobster? Gus Polinsky. Haven't seen him around in a while. I saw him in Red Lobster while he's at Red. Covert in butter, I'm sure. With a slut, well, covered in butter, I'm sure. Unicorn says the only places that will continue to appreciate will be overwhelmingly white areas like Idaho, Montana, Utah. Interesting. Idaho and Montana are a mess. They say. Fun fact: a little over 40% of homeowners own their home outright. Wow, 13-0. Even when it's paid off, the government owns it with its ever-increasing property taxes, aka tribute money. You never own it outright. You always have to pay rent to the county. Yes, old trope, you pay the taxes on your rent as well. But home ownership comes with plentiful pros. 2-1. The Trump admin fools think it's the mortgage rate. Meanwhile, the home price to median income ratio is in the stratosphere. The stratosphere, wow. Shopping for props in Colorado, home prices have typically tripled since 2000. A home that sold for $300K in 2000 right now is listed for 850 to 1 million. That is crazy. Location, location, location. You're intentionally moving to COY. My daughter and grands moved to Colorado Springs last summer. I visited and really enjoyed Garden of the Gods. Cripple Creek, mountain hiking, see living in the Manitou Springs. Considering a home big enough to encourage them to move in and live with me. She's an RN, but a single mother and could use the help. Politics aside, it's a beautiful country. I'm thinking I won't have to talk politics with the locals. It's a nice place and cold in the winter, which potentially help keep too much California out. Yeah, a bunch of people bought when prices were already at all-time high. Yep. Many thanks to the folks that bought mine. Boingo, boingo. Thinking Man 65. Some private auto loans and underwater mortgages sounds like 07, 08 all over again. Yep. There's way more debt now. $30 garbage since the first 10 years is 80% front loaded interest. Enough said. Yeah, try to get a 15-year mortgage. If you can't handle 15, get a smarter house. Better yet, save up and pay cash. Or just build it yourself. Once mortgage rate drop. Hordes of homebuyers would be unleashed and prices skyrocket. I've never been wrong. Wow. See what else they saying? They don't even exist. They just weren't born. And it's not just because of abortions. It's because people couldn't afford basic ass life. So if they can't even afford for themselves, how are they going to afford for a child? So they're not having kids. So a whole bunch of people just didn't have kids. That's what you get when you give loans to illegals who didn't sell for ICE to poor dud. BFB is going to have his moment soon. Wow. Who is BFB? All right, so yeah, basically a bunch of people underwater in the mortgage game. Interesting. And we're gonna see how that plays out. Um, yeah, I can see a lot of people bought at the most, at the highest it's been ever in the 23s and 24s, 2023, 2024. So yeah, I can see how it could be thousands, tens of thousands, maybe not millions, but tens of thousands of people with underwater mortgages. But yeah, man, that's what it is. Like, comment, subscribe, holla.